Hi there guys and welcome. These are your handover videos for your Swift Challenger 580. These are a basic walkthrough on how to set up and operate the van as if you were coming on or off site. So starting off first, you've got your black hitch head here and black lever that you have to have pulled up like so to then wind down the jockey wheel onto the tow bar, causing that to snap down, pushing up this red button and exposing a green ring. You have your breakaway cable just here. Now the gravity states if you have an eye point it has to be used. If not, wrap it around the tow bar. Handbrake is just here. To disengage, press down, and to engage, just push up. They can come up with a fair bit of force, so make sure your face isn't in the way. You then have 13-pin electric just here with this little black square. If you have 7-pin adaptation, make sure to bring yourself an adapter. You then have your jockey wheel just here, used to level the caravan, and it sits inside the A-frame whilst travelling. 2 points either side and 2 points at the back. We have inserts for your legs. Now the caravan itself comes with a leg winder, or alternatively you can get yourself a 19mm drill bit and a power drill just to make it that bit quicker. Do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using your legs. They're simply used for stabilisation. Now we're using test equipment today here, so just here I have a red propane gas bottle. I'd always recommend propane over butane as it has a better performance in winter. Connected onto that we have a black gas hose. Black gas hoses will run for 5 years. That connects onto this regulator just here. What you'll want to do is hand tighten that as much as you can and then just give it a bit of a nip up using a spanner. You don't want it ridiculously tight as there is an O-ring inside the actual hose. Too much pressure on that can cause it to crack and break. Coming around on the other side, we have first your flue just here, which is used to get clean air in and out of the boiler when operating on gas. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice, clean and tidy. We then have an Akrol full of clean drinking water just here and your water pump. Now to remove the pump, press in on the trigger and pull out. Now you may want to slightly lubricate these because they can be a little bit stiff. Then to engage it in, press in like so. You have this blue cap to go over the top of the Akrol to ensure no nastiness gets in. And then at the bottom of the strainer, well, the bottom of the pump, we have the strainer. That's crucial that sits at the bottom of the barrel, as otherwise you can get airlocks. As you can see, previous owners have fitted a PVC pipe to it. So it's always nice and straight because they do have a tendency to curl up. Next to that we have your leisure battery. This example does have one fitted and you connect the terminals on the top using a 12 or 13mm spanner. Then we have the plug-in for the mains. Mains plugs in nice and easy just here, and you have a little follow through for the mains lead so you can lock the locker. Motor mover will be gone over on collection. We then have 2 points where the wastewater from both your shower and your sink is going to come from. You'll need some 28.5mm waste pipe to then feed into a waste master that you can empty out at the appropriate point on site. And lastly, we have your toilet capacity. So, got your cassette just here, and to remove that, press up on the handle and pull out towards you. Now this handle does also extend out and up, so it can be used similar to a carry-on suitcase. What you'll want to do is twist this head to the side, open up the cap just like so. You'll then want to tilt, and at the same time as tilting, continually pressing your vent button. After that, you can open up this compartment just here, feed in some fresh water, give it a shake, and again tilt and vent, just so that the bad smells don't linger. Then on this cap here, you have measurements in both imperial and metric, and that is for your blue chemical. Blue chemical goes into there, twist the head back to the side, and then push in the cassette. So the orange handle sits behind the white teeth, as then it can't jump about. We then have the flush tank just here. This has the capacity to fit around 12 litres of water in it. However, I wouldn't recommend putting in any more than 10, as you don't want to overfill the capacity. You can also add some pink chemical, which works as a bleach without being corrosive. Now, you don't want to travel with either of these two full, so just up here, got a little bung to drain off any remaining water from the system. The caravan itself will be fully drained off before it leaves with you. Then underneath your right hand side seat at the front, we have all of this here, so I wouldn't recommend storing anything under here. You can access this compartment for your Alder boiler. which you can pull back the panel if you ever need to do any resets. You have your flow jets, which is what will pull through the actual water itself. You have these blue leads, which is where the water is going to travel through, as well as this yellow drain valve. Facing in the position as it is now, that is allowing the flow of water to come through. However, switch it up to the vertical position and that will drain off any remaining water in the system. That is also how you will collect the caravan. November to March, have it on permanently unless you're actively using the caravan, and anytime you come off site, make sure it's drained off. You have this blue box, which is the equivalent to your brain box for your motor mover. You have this silver box situated on the side, which is your battery charger. We have all of your trips in the upright position just here, and all of your fuses just here as well. I'd always recommend carrying some extra fuses across the caravan. We then have heating and hot water and charger illuminated, showing they're both working, a reverse polarity setting if you're ever abroad, and a complete system shutdown button. Press that in, nothing inside the van is able to operate. If you need a bit more information for this panel, you can pull this down here and exposes some information, either that or have a look inside your book packs. Then just here we have your main control panel. Got a little sensor on top here which you can wave your hand past and it will light up. Main on and off is just here, and then we can cycle through. So currently right now it's showing the dimmer level, heater settings, system settings, what sergeant board it is, leisure battery is charging, no vehicle battery currently, solar power, selecting battery, AC limit, internal temperature. Now that may slightly differ to the outer panel, and then we're back to the start. And if you want to select any of them, you're pressing in on this button. So you've got up and down to cycle, middle to select. You then have internal lights, front and back, as you can see, and then you just have to use your represented switches across the van. Awning light, so press that in, blue light comes on just there. Go to the outside and you can see that's on. We then have your water pump just here. What you'll want to do is press in on that button. There'll be a little blue light there to show you that water is coming through into the boiler and being pressurised. It will then turn off the blue light once it is pressurised. So super simple to use. Up and down to cycle, enter to select, pump, internal light, awning light. As you can see here, we have a nice steady continuous stream. This is the sort of thing that you're after. If you're continually getting air locks and coughs and splutters, check your drain valve, check the pump outside, the strainer's at the bottom of the barrel and you've got plenty of water. If you're going to be using your other taps, I'd recommend pulling through on them as well, starting from the furthest point first. But what you're after is around about 30 seconds, which is about now. Then turn that off just there. And then once you finish with this and you want to drain off, press in to turn off the pump, come over to your drain valve, open it up, and then leave the tap open as well, because there'll be a little bit of residual water. Then just here we have your Alder control panel. So turn this on using that button just there. This exact model is a 320. Well, 3020. So shows mains is plugged into the van, 22 degrees, as you can see slightly differs. Press it on menu and you come to this screen. So first up we have the internal temperature of the caravan that you desire. You can either individually tap or you can press and hold to go up or down. Now they will go up or down in increments of 0.5. Then we have the shower icon, which is representative of the hot water. It's currently off or it's on full. So that will get the water temperature to around about 40 to 50 degrees. We then have the water heat, which is either 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts of electric. Now do be aware that some sites do not have 3 kilowatts capacity, or we have gas or a mixture of gas and both. I have just said water heat. It's for both the heating and the hot water. So you can either use gas, mains or both for the heating and the hot water. Then pressing in on settings, you have a couple of different rows just here. I'm not going to run through this as we have set this to what we believe the most user-friendly panel to use. However, if you'd like to have a look inside your book packs, please do so. So super simple, internal, water pump, water temperature even, and then your sources. Now do be aware, if it's a nice day like today, it may take around about an hour to get it all hot and going. If it's a bit more miserable outside, it will take a bit longer. Now naturally this screen will fade off when not interacted with in a bit of time. However, if you want to turn it completely off, just press it on the power button. Just here we have your hob, grill and oven, all of which operates on gas, minus the electric plate. Electric plate, spin to whatever mark and it will get to temperature. Everything else, press in on the dial, twist it to the side and press in on the igniter. Now it may be a case it can take a few moments to actually light, or they may light and cut off when you first come to use it. That is completely natural. That is the gas making its way through the system. This is what it looks like when they're all lit. As you can see, all nice and lit just there. And it's the same concept for your grill. As you can see, all nice and lit just there. And then finally your oven. As you can see, oven all nice and lit there as well. Just make sure that these trays do not intrude on the igniter. Any other real thing to note, you need to travel with this glass sheet down, and if you're travelling with gas bottles, make sure that the bottles themselves are off. And just here we have your fridge operation. So to turn it on, press and hold in on the far most left button. It will then flash up and go to its most recent memory, which in this case is gas. Now for gas, I'd recommend running through your hob, grill and oven, just to make sure the gas is coming through properly. You may hear this tick in, then once it's finished ticking, that means it's lit. However, you don't have to do anything for that. As you can see, fridge is on, so there's blue lights inside. We can then change sources, so let's select mains. You can see that's illuminated. And then we have this battery symbol here, which is only representative of 13 pin electric. So when I press it in, it flashes up and beeps. So that's only when towing. Then we have the amount of power, so 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. 5 being the most powerful, so it is going to chill it the quickest. However, even on full capacity, it will take around 4 hours for the fridge to fully chill. Then once you're finished, press and hold in, turns the fridge off. Make sure as well when you do turn the fridge on, you don't have the door open, as it can cause it to trip out. Just here we have the toilet, which is bog simple. Lift up the lid, press in the button on the top, and you can hear that motor. That motor is what will push through any water in the system. To remove the waste, press away on the handle, opens up the catch, pull it back towards you to shut it up like so. When the cassette is full, there'll be a red light on there telling you to empty.